All right, everybody, welcome to episode 115 of the Random Thoughts podcast.
Apologies on my behalf for the last two episodes and our focus issue.
So little focus.
You'll now know all the titles of our books if you're watching the video, but I've now fixed that. We are now in manual mode.
So that was autofocus, yeah?
That was, yeah. So because we were two heads, not one in the middle, it kept trying to focus on the center of the image, which was, for those watching at home, we're left and right, and then the bookshelf.
I couldn't watch it, was it? Because I do try and watch a little bit of each of them just to sort of for self-coaching. It is excruciating. I don't like doing it, but I'm like, no, professional.
And that one was particularly tough, and that's 100% my fault. We should be okay for this one, though, if you're watching on the video.
And we should hopefully have better sound, because we are trying a different trick with handheld mics.
Yeah, we got the mics off the stands in the hands.
Courtesy of Tommy Jacket.
Thanks, Tommy, for the idea. Just basically saw that and stole it. Yep. And let us know. We'll see how it sounds.
So, focus is a good segue.
Nice one.
You have been laser focused on one of the most exciting projects in the history of Core Advantage, a project to turn what is fundamentally the beating heart of our business into a product.
Yep.
And that is, you should announce it. You've been putting the work in.
The internship. So what is currently just our coach development pathway internship, which we run every semester for 10 to 15 uni students / soon to be graduates, is now going to be an online course available for everyone.
Yeah, I'm so psyched about it. I think it's really cool. I suppose it's worth talking about the catalyst to it, and then what the actual internship is and how it works.
Yeah. Well, the catalyst really started with you, so I think you should because you that got me thinking along this pathway.
Yeah. So the internship, the idea was always, I had this game plan of let's build the best high performance facility coaching place in the country, and I'm not suggesting we've hit that yet. We're chasing that.
Still working on that.
Yep.
Work in progress.
And I realized that I could design a beautiful gym. I could
get some really expensive, fancy equipment and tech.
Get some very good stuff. But it would all be pretty useless if it was just me coaching. I needed a team of people around me that was. And my thing was, what I realized, because I'm not vain when it comes to this stuff. I realized that I needed people around me who were better than me. I was very comfortable with it. I just need to find a way to get people who are better.
And people who are better, because that then pushes you to be better
immensely. Yeah,
and also it provides a different viewpoint.
Yeah.
So you've had your experience that's been with a certain group of athletes, but bring people in who've had more of a footy background.
20 years this year.
20 years. This number.
1999 is when I started.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you need that team of diversity and different experiences and different ways of looking at things, because then as a unit, you're better. Like that's just how it works.
And I reckon I underestimated how big a benefit that was at the start as well. I knew I wanted smarter people, and I knew I wanted more skill sets, but the diversity of perspectives has been great, because that's actually evolved the internship. Like it's this circular thing where you build this great internship and
you get unique individuals in it.
You get really smart people in it, and then you can hire some of those people, and that becomes our team. And then that further makes the internship better because they add different perspectives. And it's been the best thing in my entire professional life. The two best things I've ever been involved with were my apprenticeship under my mentor Bruce.
Yep. So your first internship.
Yeah, and then that idea of, well, I got so much out of that. Let's give back a little, and let's also have a way of building great coaches. Yeah.
And so it's been running since 2013. Semester 1, 2013 was when I did the very first official Core Advantage internship, which Rob was the key lecturer.
Shout out to Rob Blinkhorn, who's now got his master's in physio and practicing as a physio.
And master's of strength and conditioning as well. He did a mountain of work.
Amazing amount of work. He just did such a good job with that. And so Rob was a great story of an athlete who trained with me as a junior. And was very competitive, and I remember he said to me once, "I'm going to do sports science, and I'm going to be better than you."
That's so Rob.
And I said, "Okay, so when are you going to finish?" He's like, "It's named the year." I said, "Well, I'll be 10 years better by then." And he's
two can play at that game.
But anyway, Rob was amazing, and super fortunate to have had him involved in the business, because he really got that side of it going. And so the internship's gone brilliantly. It's done everything we ever hoped and so much more. But it does have one real negative that I hate, that every year I will interview approximately 100 candidates for the internship
across the 2 semesters, give
semesters,
or take. Yep.
And you'll see them walk in, and they're all excited and they're happy, and it's a big opportunity. And the reality is that of that 100, generally 80 will leave disappointed and not able to get the information, get the knowledge, get the learning.
Yep. From their perspective, it has been a loss.
It's been, and I feel it like it's a horrible experience. Like you're rejecting. And I've had people cry.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's
yeah.
really because
I did 1 semester of interviews and was so bad at it that I gave it straight to the time. I was like, I don't have these soft skills. That's because I was just fine, you're in then. I felt too bad, but not as hard as you are, Durham. So,
and so every semester I think to myself, I genuinely wish we could have this information get out to more people.
And you can see they're keen. They want to learn. They want to push themselves. They want to take on this challenge to take that next step in their career.
Yeah. And so we decided this year that with the internet and technology being what it was,
we're a little behind. we shouldn't make it sound like there's this new online platform and we're finally at the cutting edge. No, we're behind, but we finally feel confident enough to tackle it. I think is probably a better way of wording that.
Let me tell you about the internet. So we feel that it's now at a stage where we could make a really compelling offering and
do justice to the content. Because you and Rob did, and I've done a lot of the internship recently, but I've only been able to do that, standing on the shoulders of your work and Rob's work from before me, because I went through the internship and then sat in as a senior intern, as an assistant coach the next year, and then progressed. And it's that knowledge, and then what I've added, and what every intern that's been through the process has added to the course. I feel like our grasp and our comfort with technology is finally at a place where we can do justice to that content, without actually having it be, all the slides were there and the content, but we want it to be like, I get how they got to that conclusion. I understand that they've given us the extra resources. That makes sense, and I'm along the journey with them. So
so it's super exciting. I think as we were sort of strategizing how you could actually make this thing a good thing, the most important thing to me was that there are quite a few offerings in this space. There's a lot of education.
It's a big industry. It's fitness education
in the country and around the world. And what I wanted it to be was this, because what I think is special about our internship is we're not just teaching you. A lot of people come in with the expectation. I've had this feedback because we do exit interviews with every intern, and they have this expectation they're going to come in and they're going to learn how to core advantage, like just how we do this, how we do that.
This is our version of a squat. This is our version of a plank. This is our version of a running drill. Yeah,
and you will learn that. But the thing that the most common piece of feedback I get is that they'll report back, I didn't realize that what I was actually getting was an entire framework and synthesis of the industry and sports science, enabling me to, it's kind of like an operating system.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's not just one problem.
Less about the Core Advantage app on your phone. It's more about what's running in the background that's making everything else and putting all the pieces of the puzzle together.
Yeah. So that you can face it might be that you never saw, I don't know, a mountain climbing athlete.
Yeah, rock climber.
Rock climber. But all of the stuff that you've learned about functional anatomy, training,
postural
mobility,
correction, upper body, rotator cuff and things like that.
Contraindicated exercises, all that stuff, you actually know, so you can just apply that to any problem that you face.
Yeah, so less about copy and paste, but more, these are the skills I learned there that worked for swimmers. Swimmers have shoulder problems. Rock climbers also have shoulder issues. Those must translate, and there'll be iteration, there'll be adjustment, but the fundamental principles will follow you across and follow you throughout your career.
And so it's kind of like a finishing school for first principles thinking.
Yeah, within our field, within strength and conditioning.
Just within our field.
It's not a whole philosophy degree. Yeah, and so it is specialized to fitness and personal training and strength and conditioning and potentially allied health. There's some benefits there as well, but it's that finishing school where you can take.
Can I just stop you? I think the allied health thing, that's massive, because those guys don't always get taught heaps in this space,
but they often have to dabble into it.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
That's thank you for that. So it's that finishing school where you can take the knowledge and the stuff you learn at uni, which in some areas is brilliant, in some areas is a little lacking, and particularly practical is the feedback I get a lot, is the practical side of things isn't as amazing. And you can take that and go, oh, well, I see how that now fits into this bigger picture when it comes to the body, anatomy, speed development, jump training, whatever it might be.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So how it's going to work is you have started, you've divided it up into modules, and you are working your way through.
So it's the Core Advantage. It doesn't even have a name yet. The Core Advantage Online Strength and Conditioning Career Development Pathway.
Does that turn into really good?
No, it's going to be a terrible acronym, but it's something along those lines. So it's a career development accelerator for people in the fitness industry. So whether you're in uni, just out of uni, a young coach, an experienced coach who wants to reboot and freshen up your thinking, or allied health, personal trainers, whatever it might be, it's 18 weeks. So it's a unit per week, and each unit is broken into modules. So for example, there's a unit on speed development, and we'll talk about the anatomy and the biomechanics and the postures of speed, drills we use, drills we like, things that work well, other underpinning things like mobility and strength and stuff like that, and how that affects, how that will affect speed. And then you build on that in the next week. And each thing, it's taken a while to get it in the right order, but each...
Oh, that's a nightmare putting in the right order, isn't it?
Because
everything should go first.
Everything should go first. Oh, you can't know this unless you know that. And so it's as best ordered as I could get it. But it's 18 weeks. Each week you'll get a new unit, and then you'll go through that coursework. And it'll also be interactive. So we're going to build we're going to build a forum into the website as well. And then when you're part of this process, you'll have access to us in a live chat forum as well. So we can be interactive. I didn't quite get this, and then we can flesh things out, and everyone gets better.
Yeah, I can't wait.
It's very exciting.
Yeah.
Also to mention, this isn't replacing the in-house Core Advantage internships. It's not like we're ending that. That's still going, and that's still, like you mentioned, the heart of the business.
Yep.
But now we're trying to expand it.
Yeah, it's been terrific. What have you found to be the hardest part so far of making it? Because it's really hard because a lot of things lose so much in translation. So you're in a room with a group of people, and it's very easy to keep them. Well, it's not very easy, but when you've had practice, you're able to keep them engaged
and read the room as well and adjust.
Yeah. What have you found most challenging in terms of the setup?
Well, I haven't started filming. Well,
They've done the pilot stuff.
Yeah, done some of the pilot stuff and started filming. I think it's the getting the coming across on camera the same way you do in front of a classroom. That's the challenge. And the first few ones I'm pretty happy with.
Oh, really?
Or you can always improve. And one of the beauties of this course is we'll iterate. So
that's such a good point. Yeah.
Once you're in the course, once you're part of the pathway, if we change a course or we find out something new and we add it, it's not like, I did the 2019 course, I have to update to get the 2022. Just like a software update, like an operating system.
We'll push out.
That's a free upgrade.
And so every time we upgrade, we'll push out to our mailing list.
Yep.
Hey, we've just upgraded this part of that. You might want to take a look at it.
Check it out for some new content.
So it's actually constantly
evolving as we evolve. Yeah. Exactly. So,
which is a really important point. I think books are wonderful, and I'm a huge proponent of books. Look at all our books.
Love a good book. Hopefully blurred out in the background, so not sharply in focus.
But the only problem with a book is that by the time you generally are reading a book, the information is at the very least 2 years old, more like 3 or 4, because it's something that took a long time to write. It took a long time from start to finish.
Yeah, the author started thinking about that 5 to 10 years ago, started writing it 2 to 3 years ago, and spent a year getting published and getting to your bookshelf.
Yeah. And so it's really common that you will meet an author and you'll ask them about a certain thing, and they'll be like, yeah.
We actually do it this way now. Yeah, that's
really common.
Which is where podcasts come in so handy.
Yeah,
because a podcast is live,
just straight there. And I think that's going to be one of the really good things is that you can do the internship now, but in 2025, when new information comes up and we alter a thing and improve a thing, it's kind of like you're always part of the extended crew.
Yeah, you're always part of that knowledge team. Like, if you want the lamest term for a team ever.
The Core Advantage knowledge team product.
That came up in my head and I was like, that's too lame not to say that.
If you're a thought leader and part of the knowledge team.
There you go. So you'll get those updates. And so it's halfway between a book and a podcast in that it's curated, it's thought about, it's hopefully well delivered. And it will be well delivered. We're going to work hard on this and I'm putting a lot of time into it. But 6 months from now, that didn't quite nail that last time. That'll get updated. We'll shoot that out. Here's the update. Here's the new information.
I think it might be one of the few areas where our perfectionist streak is advantageous. Because often I know with me, I'm trying really hard to be less of a perfectionist because I think that holds me back. And I think it probably holds us back a little bit in general, that we're all a bit down that.
Well, a bit OCD. Just everything has to be just straight. Yeah.
Whereas in this particular instance, that need to make every facet of the program as good as is humanly possible, we're just constantly going over it and making it better and better. So
yeah, exactly.
So we will have a special offer coming out roughly when?
Well, so we're working on the promotion and all that stuff, and the content's being built as we speak. And a bit
How hard is the promotion?
Promotion's the worst bit. Like I wish I could just make all the lectures and make all the content and
the world would just find its way to them.
And just find it. But yeah, we'll have to promote this as well. So expect a video up in the next couple of weeks. Probably next week, in fact. It's pretty close. And then so there'll be, for the very first offering this first semester, it'll be $850. So
it's a pretty big discount.
So it's pretty big. It's probably we haven't settled on a full price yet.
A bunch more than that.
But we know this first one we want to make accessible. We want to get people in so we can get feedback, and so we can run a few of these versions before we move it up.
And before we really start marketing widely, like we're going to it's kind of a soft launch of it almost.
This is going to be a soft launch this first semester. So exactly. So it'll be $850. It'll start on the same weekend as our in-house intensive, which is, I believe, the 15th, 16th of Feb.
Oh, you texted me, I think so.
That will be the day the first piece of content will go out. So if you're either in the gym doing the in-gym internship, or if you're online doing it anywhere around the world from the comfort of your own home, that weekend will be the first one. Then they'll come out every Monday on the week from there, and you'll just be able to access them as you go through. And then we'll have a forum which we'll engage with as well, that you can ask questions if you're not sure. Either fortnightly or monthly Q&As. We'll see what people are feeling engaging, and where you can either ask your question ahead of time and watch us answer them via video, or tune in real time and have a conversation, and we can create a dialogue about things that didn't quite make sense, and or things that you want to go deeper on, for example.
Yeah, and even as we're talking, I've had another couple of ideas pop into my head that I'm going to keep in my head.
Save them to work on later.
Yeah, but there's just, I think it's so much scope, and it's one of those things that's really in our wheelhouse. It's a thing we like doing. I think we can do a pretty good job of, and I think people will like it.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for further details.
Yep, there'll be a link with this video that you can check out that'll take you directly to the information about the page, details, all that sort of stuff. If you want more, contact us. So send us a message on via email or via social media.
Yep.
And we can help you out further.
Sounds great. Cool. All right. Thanks, guys.